Hello, it's Justin, and this video is about 8 benefits of learning a new language. So let's get right into it. Number 1 is learning a new language opens opportunities, and that could be business opportunities, it could be professional or career opportunities, but when you have knowledge of another language, you can access opportunities that would not be available for you if you didn't know that language. So obviously, if you're watching this, you probably know English, but for the people who had to learn English and didn't know English originally, English is the global language for business, and for people around the world who are not from English-speaking countries, learning it is essential to getting opportunities with business in the global stage. But even for English speakers, a lot of businesses interact with countries and people from all over the world, and as we live in a more globalized world, learning new languages would open opportunities for you, whether it's business or professional related. So for example, Mandarin, which I know fluently, but if you know Mandarin, that opens a lot of opportunities for you to do business in Chinese speaking countries, as well as interacting with the overseas Chinese community. And also knowing Spanish as well is very important, I think, because the Spanish-speaking world is so big and there's a lot of business opportunities there that you won't be able to take advantage, or it would be harder for you to take advantage of if you didn't know the language and couldn't interact with people directly. And number 2 is related, but it's a little different. It's about meeting and connecting with more people. So yes, learning a new language opens doors for you business-wise, professionally, but it could also open doors for you socially, because we live in a more globalized world and we are bound to encounter people from other countries. And yes, they probably will be able to speak English, but you won't connect with them on a deeper and stronger level as much if you don't know their language. And if you do know their language, then you can connect better with other people. And I think that's very, very important, because you will miss out on so many social opportunities if you aren't able to interact with people from other countries. And you might meet someone who's a great friend who you really enjoy hanging out with. You might meet a partner from another country, and knowing another language allows you to really build those connections. So I think that it's very important for us to learn a new language, because we would miss out on so many connections and social opportunities if we don't. So number 3 is better traveling experience. So I know a lot of Americans don't travel overseas, but I do, and for a lot of people from other countries, overseas travel is a very common pastime for holidays and for vacation. And I would say that travel is amazing, and if you haven't traveled overseas, you should, because a lot of the greatest experiences I had was through travel, just because you're in a new environment and you're interacting with new people and discovering a new culture. And it's so there's so many great experiences you would have if you go overseas, because at home you kind of stick to a routine. So learning a new language would give you a better travel experience, because you're able to understand the culture better if you know the language, and you're able to understand things on a deeper level and not just a surface level. You can communicate better with locals, you can navigate better because you know all the signs and you know what the signs are saying, and what everything is saying, and it would allow you to really understand the culture and have a deeper and richer travel experience. So I would say that learning a new language would allow you to have these richer experiences, which could create memories that you will never forget. So number 4 is learning a new language would allow you to understand global events on a deeper level, and that's because now you have the ability to go to the source of whatever you're trying to learn. And there's Global events affect the world, it affects society. And instead of getting it from a secondary source, from an English-speaking newspaper, for example, you can get it directly by reading the news in that language about that country, or listening to the people in that country talk about what's happening, because that is a primary source of information, and you will be able to understand what's happening on a much deeper level if you listen to what they're saying about their own country in their own language, instead of relying on interpreters and newspapers in your own language to talk about what they're saying, because they have their own biases and they have their own perspective on things, and every country and every culture has different perspectives. So if you want to get a better understanding, it's better to go for the direct source and the primary source of information, and that involves knowing the language. And yes, you could get translators, but that's not always available, one, and two, translations are not always accurate, and three, translations don't capture the nuances of the language. So number 4, we're actually number 5 now, learning a new language boosts brain power, and it literally makes you smarter, and this has been proven scientifically. Just like working out is exercising your body and boosting the power of your body and the capacity of your physical abilities, exercising your brain by learning a new language also boosts the power of your brain and the capabilities of your brain, and that literally makes you smarter. And scientific research shows that it can expand the gray matter in your brain, so you can literally do more things with your brain, you can think better, you can analyze things better, and just have a more powerful brain, which is great. And it basically keeps your brain sharp and healthy. So the number 6 benefit of learning a new language is it boosts memory, and this is related to the last benefit. Just because you're exercising your brain so much and it's improving the synapses and the gray matter in your brain, your memory will be more powerful. So that's another benefit. And the number 7 benefit of learning a new language is that it boosts creativity, because you are thinking of things in another language, or using another language and learning another language, you have a different way of seeing things, because other languages don't phrase things the same way as English all the time, and they have their own nuances. So when you learn a new language, you learn those new nuances, you learn different ways of communicating, and that boosts your creativity. And it also allows you to consume media from other cultures in their own language, and that opens your creativity as well, because when you learn a new culture, you're exposed to new ideas, you're exposed to new ways of thinking. And number 8 benefit is you gain stronger perspective, because when you learn a new language, you're able to access information from other cultures, and you're able to learn another country and another culture in a deeper level. You'll be able to gain a stronger perspective in life, because you can compare that culture to your own culture and draw comparisons and learn about another culture and how that relates to our culture, and how people do things differently. It really sheds light on your own culture, and I think that really gives you perspective on things, because we do things in a certain way in our culture, but when you learn a new language and learn their nuances, learn how they think, how they communicate, and also consume the media that they produce, and consume the music, consume the TV shows and the culture they have, you will learn about the different ways people from other countries do things, and that will allow you to gain perspective on your own culture, because it sheds light on how we do things ourselves. So these are the 8 benefits of learning a new language. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get notified when new videos come out. And follow me on Instagram, where you can DM me, and follow me on Medium, where I write about the same topics I talk about on YouTube. The links for my Instagram and Medium are in the description, so check that out, and I'll see you next time.